So hi all, welcome to another lecture. In this lecture we will see the start of the month, end of the month, last date and EOMONTH. So let us look at the start of the month. It returns the first date of the month in the current context. This is the syntax where the dates is generally a column of dates. It is ideally coming from a date table. So we can only use start of the month, end of the month, last date only for the date table. The table should be marked as a date table. This is an example where sales of order date is present. Okay, so order date is basically a column of dates. Now this is end of the month. It returns the last date of the month in the current context. This is the end of the month. It accepts a column of dates again, typically from a date table. Example is this: sales of order date. Next is the last date. Last date, it returns the last date in the current context for a column of dates. And last date, it also accepts a column of dates. So in the column of dates, whichever comes at the bottom, right, that will be the last date, and that is what will be displayed. Okay, when it comes to end of the month, we will see practically what end of the month does. Okay, for every for every month, right, end of the month, it returns the last date of that particular month. Okay, so this is the difference. Last date, it will return the last date for the entire column. End of the month, what it does, it returns the last date for a particular month. Now next comes EOMONTH. EOMONTH, it returns the last date of the month after adding a specified number of months to a date. So this is the start date. Okay, so now what is the difference between end of the month and EOMONTH? Okay, so in end of the month, it accepts only one argument, that is a date column. But in EOMONTH, it accepts not a date column but a single date value. Okay, and comma the months. So for how many months do you want to forward it, or do you want to go back to the date? So that provision is given over here, so we can do filtering on that basis. Okay, this is one example. So EOMONTH today comma -1. So whatever the date is today, it will pick up the current month, and -1 means that it will go to the previous month and give you the last date of that previous month. Okay, that is what it will do. Okay, so this is the summary table. Start of the month, it returns the first date of the month in context. This is the example. End of the month, it returns the last date of month in context. Last date, last visible date in context. EOMONTH, last date after month offset. Okay, so let us head to Power BI and let us see this in practical. Okay, so I have already added a year slicer and a month slicer, and this is one table that I have used, in which I have added the date column and the sum of quantities. Okay, so I have already created these measures. So let us start with the start of month. We want to calculate the sum of the date quantities, okay, comma the start of month of dates of date. Okay, so what this will do is, this will go ahead and give me the quantity value for every month. Okay, for every date that is at the start of the month. Okay, so for example, if this is July, right, this is January, right, January. So the value 2022-11 will be displayed here. Okay, for all the dates belonging to the month of January. So if I go ahead and if I drag and drop this here, you will see, the value 2022-11 is displayed here. Okay, for all the dates for belonging to the month of January. If I go ahead, if I select the year 2022 and if I select January, okay, and if I go to the bottom, you see all the values are having the value for the month January for the date 01/01/2022, because that is what the start of the month will do. It will return the first date of that particular month. Okay, now if I go ahead and if I select this for February, you see it will give me the value for the first date of the month February. See, similarly, if I go ahead and if I select it for March, it will give me the same values. So this is the function of the measure start of month. Okay, it will give you the starting date of that particular month. Now let us look at the end of the date. End of the date is exactly the opposite, right? It will give you the last date for that particular month. So if I drag and drop this here, okay, you will see this will give you the, wait, yes, no, wait, yes. If I go ahead and if I select on January now, see, and if I go to the extreme bottom, right, you see this is the last date, right? This is the last 31st of January, and this is the sum of quantity that is coming 2022-41, and that is what is exactly displayed here in the measure end of month. If I go ahead and select February, you see this is the same value, see 2022-48, which is the last date, right? So this is what will be displayed. So this is for end of month and start of month. Okay, let us look at the last date. Okay, the last date. Okay, what last date will do, it will give me the value for the last date. Okay, let me add one slicer, sorry, not a slicer but a card. Let me add a card. Okay, and in the card let me go ahead and place this. Let me go to the format, your visual section, and let me display the units in none. Okay, so if you can just see, this is a measure last date. Now what the measure last date has done, it has given me the value. If I deselect this one, you see what the measure last date has done, it has given me the amount for the last date present in that particular column, visible last date present in the column. Okay, if I go ahead and select 2024, because that is my that is the highest year, and if I go ahead and select the month of December, right, you see this is the value that will be displayed, 2022-551. Okay, this is the amount 202551, which is displayed here. Okay, so in a card it is showing me the exact value, but if I go ahead, okay, and if I add this measure last date in the table, what will happen? It will not give me the same value, this value 202551, for all the particular rows. And the reason is because when you look at the last date, right, you will see that it is accepting a dates column, right? So for it works for every single row. Okay, it works for every single row. If you just see this one, right, it works for every single row. So what I mean by works for every single row, that means it is accepting, it is actually looking at it in this way, that last date of 01/01/2022. So obviously it is giving me the values for all the dates. Okay, in the same way, it is functioning in the same way as sum of quantities. But if you use it in a card, right, it will show you the actual value, that is the measure last date. If you want it to be displayed, if you want this value, that is 202551, to be displayed everywhere in this particular column, right, everywhere, then what you have to do, you will have to go to the measure last date and you will have to select all. What all will do, it will remove all the filter context from this particular visualization. Okay, if I go ahead and if I use this, you will see it is now replaced this with 202551. Okay, now the filtration that has been applied, that was applied earlier in this table, right, that has now been removed, okay, from this particular visualization. So if I have covered this function all in details, okay, you will find the link at the top. And now we have covered the last date. Let us look at the measure EOMONTH. Okay, now for measure EOMONTH, right, I cannot go ahead and apply dates of date here. If I go ahead and apply dates of date here, it will not be coming. The reason why it will not be coming, because this accepts a scalar value, okay, a single date value, not a date column. Okay, if I go ahead and if I give this value as today, right, I will show you exactly how this functions. So let me collapse this one here. Okay, and let me insert one more card, and let me resize this card. Okay, Now what I will do, I will insert this measure EO date. Okay, see what this will return. Measure EO date, if I go ahead and if I remove the +1, you see today is 25th of May 2025. Okay, so what it has done is it has given me the previous month. Okay, the last day of the previous month. That is what EO month will do. Okay, today when I give the value as today, it will extract the month and then it will subtract -1 from it. That means today is May, then subtract -1, it will become April. So it will give you the last day of that month, that is last day of April, that is 30th of April 2025. And if you add a +1 to it, right, you will come to the recent month, that is current month, the start day of the current month, that is 1st of May 2025. So the advantage of using EO month is that this particular value should be dynamic and you have the provision to go n months back. Okay, it can be -2 also, it can be -3 also, according to your need. Okay, if I do it -2, that means previous to 2 months back and then +1. Okay, so it will give you the first starting date of the previous month, that is 1st of April 2024. Okay, that is what it is. So if I have to use this along with calculate, right, so how can I do it? I will use calculate sum of dates of quantities, comma, dates of date is equals to, now I can use EO month. Okay, start date I will keep it as today, comma, -1, okay, +1. If I do +1, it means the starting date of the current month. If I do not do +1, that means the last day of the previous month. Okay, so if I do, let's say, +1, okay, and if I hit on enter, it will give me blank. And the reason why it will give me blank, because in the data set we don't have it for the month of May. Okay, and neither for the year 2025, only for the year 2024. So what to do in that particular case? Okay, instead of using today, right, instead of using today, we can specify a particular date, year, month and day. So let us say I am selecting the year as 2023. Okay, month will be, let's say, 3rd, and let's say the day is let's say 16th. Okay, that is 16th of March 2023. Okay, and what will this do? This will return me the first value of the current month. Current month, that means the month that is applied here. Okay, so it will return me 1st of March 2023. Okay, so it will give me the sum of all the dates, all the quantities which belongs, where the date is equals to the 1st of March 2023. Okay, this is what it says. If I hit on enter, you will see this will give me the value. If I go to this format and from auto, if I select this to none, see, this will give me this. And if I go ahead and if I drag and drop this here, you see for the EO month, this has given me the value 202331. Okay, if I really want to compare this, right, let me go to the format visual and let me remove this. Okay, now we are only left with EO month. Okay, now what I will do, I will go ahead and select 2023 and for the month of March. Okay, if I go down, sorry, go at the top, you will see this is the first date, 2023-31. Okay, so this is the function of EO month. Okay, this is the basic difference between EO month and end of the month. End of the month, okay, it accepts a date column. Okay, and in EO month, what will happen? This will accept a scalar value, a particular date, single date value. Okay, and you also have the provision to fast forward the dates or go back for the dates. Okay, you can actually use positive filter as well as negative filter for the dates. Okay, So that's it guys, that is the difference. I hope I was able to give you clarity on all the 4 dates. If you really enjoyed this session, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.